The Beach Cities Healthy Living Campus Master Plan is divided into two phases. Phase 1 of the master plan is analyzed as a proposed project. Phase 1 has a preliminary site development plan that defines building footprints, building heights, landscaping, and circulation. Phase 1 would begin with the construction of the Residential Care for the Elderly building, otherwise known as the RCFE building. The RCFE building would include 157 assisted living units, 60 memory care units that would be relocated from the existing development on campus, would provide space for a program of all-inclusive care for the elderly, would provide space for community service program, and it would provide space for the Youth Wellness Center. Following the construction of the RCFE building, the existing uses from the Beach Cities Health Center would be relocated into the RCFE building, and the Beach Cities Health Center would be demolished. The RCFE building would provide 2 subterranean levels with service area and loading dock, and 6 above ground floors that would provide space for assisted living, memory care, and the other programming included in the RCFE building. Additionally, the RCFE building would include enclosed rooftop projections, such as heating, air conditioning, and ventilation, cooling towers, etc. At its maximum height, the RCFE building would rise to 103 feet above the existing campus ground level. This would be 133 feet above the vacant Flagler lot below. The draft EIR evaluates Phase 2 programmatically. Phase 2 does not have a defined preliminary site development plan. Instead, Phase 2 has a defined set of uses and potential areas of disturbance, potential building heights. The final site plan would be developed at a later stage following the completion of Phase 1. However, in order to provide a conservative worst-case analysis in the draft EIR, 3 illustrative example site plans have been provided. Example site plan A would include the development of a combined community health and wellness center, which would rise to a height of 85 feet above the campus ground level. This combined building would include a wellness pavilion, an aquatic center, and the Center for Health and Fitness, which would be relocated back to the campus. Additionally, this phase would include the development of a conventional parking structure rising to a height of 76 feet above the campus ground level and providing 8.5 above ground parking levels. Lastly, this site plan would provide programmable open space, which would be located in the center of the campus between the Community Health and Wellness Center and the RCFE building developed in Phase 1. The example B site plan scenario would replace the conventional parking structure with an automated parking structure. Automated parking structures are mechanical parking structures that stack vehicles more efficiently and would allow for a reduced footprint and reduced height. Under the example B site plan scenario, the height of the parking structure would be reduced to 71.5 feet above the campus ground level. All of the other elements of this example site plan remain similar to the example site plan A presented previously. The example C site plan scenario would involve the redevelopment of the medical office building at 510 North Prospect Avenue. This would allow for a more efficient campus flow and layout. The example C site plan scenario would also include an automated parking structure. Importantly, the example C site plan scenario would split out the wellness pavilion into a separate building that would be constructed in the center of the campus and would rise to a height of 68 feet above the campus ground level. The aquatics and Center for Health and Fitness would be located adjacent to the automated parking structure and would rise to a height of 53 feet above the campus ground level. Each of the 3 example site plan scenarios are described in detail in the draft environmental impact report, and trade-offs associated with the example site plan scenario are considered as well. The board of directors will further consider these trade-offs during consideration of the proposed project. The draft environmental impact report also considers a number of alternatives aimed at reducing environmental impacts associated with the Beach Cities Health District Healthy Living Campus Master Plan. The first alternative, the no project alternative, would consider the reasonable outcomes if the master plan is not approved. This alternative addresses the demolition of the existing Beach Cities Health Center when it becomes seismically unsafe to inhabit. Alternative 2 considers the sale and the redevelopment of the BCHD campus. Alternative 3, which is pictured to the right, provides the analysis of a revised access and circulation plan. This revised access and circulation plan would involve a right turn from Barrel Street onto the campus into a passenger loading zone and an exit onto North Prospect Avenue. No access would be provided to Flagler Lane under this alternative. Alternative 4 would involve phase 1 only, so construction of the RCFE building, but no construction of the elements described in phase 2. Alternative 5 would relocate the Center for Health and Fitness permanently off campus, and as a result, reduce the height of the parking structure required during phase 2. And alternative 6 would reduce the height of the RCFE building and spread that development across the eastern boundary of the campus.